Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my talk entitled The World's Largest Performance Arts Festival, the Top 10 Tips. These top 10 tips are on how to have a brilliant day if you only have one day at this overwhelming phenomenon. So here we go. This is what you can expect. This is a picture at the top of the Royal Mile, just near the castle. And this is exactly what happens. The Royal Mile is blocked off and it becomes a complete pedestrian precinct full of street performers. Now, this is something that's very close to my heart because this particular photograph is taken just outside my apartment. Let me tell you that coming out of my apartment on a day in August, even just for a pint of milk, it is an adventure, having to brave fire eaters, jugglers, people floating around looking like fairies and dressed as dragons. It's never dull. But even just a day spent on the Royal Mile will be some excitement, let me tell you. Of course, the showcase in Edinburgh during the month of August is this particular thing. It's the Edinburgh Tattoo. The Edinburgh Tattoo, of course, takes place on the Castle Esplanade, which is at the top of the Royal Mile. And later in the talk, I'm going to give you just a very simple graphic about how you can negotiate the various parts of the Edinburgh Fringe on foot really easily, and you can get the best of your day. But this is the tattoo. It takes place twice of an evening, an early showing and a late showing, and after both showings there are the most amazing sort of displays that you can actually see even though you don't have a ticket. Again, it's going to be one of my top 10 tips. When you get to Edinburgh, every available space is converted into either a performance space or into some kind of beer garden or cafe or tea room or somewhere that you can grab a snack. That in itself is exciting because the performers, of course, also have to have somewhere to sit and have some downtime. So you're obviously going to be sitting there, you will be getting flyers, you might even be getting free tickets. Again, one of my top 10 tips. So it's pretty exciting. The Fringe itself, however, let me tell you a little bit of its context. It started in 1947. And it started almost as a protest in a way because the Edinburgh International Festival was started by the government to kickstart a celebration of life, if you like, after the war. But those that weren't invited to the Edinburgh International Festival decided to launch something called the Fringe. The Fringe has now grown to such an extent that pre-pandemic in 2019, there were 3 million tickets actually sold to Fringe performances, which made it that year the third most popular event in the world after the World Cup and the Olympics. That gives you an idea of just how enormous it is. The thing about the Fringe is that everybody's Fringe is different. And so if you only have a day, how on earth do you go about it? How do you do the Fringe in one day? Well, I'm the person to tell you. Stay tuned, because here are my top tips.